Welcome again to Eye on the Tigers News. I'm Kennedy Lamb.
And I'm Abby Garrett. We appreciate you joining us for the news we've been following for you. Defying the Republican-run Congress, President Barack Obama rejected a bill Tuesday to approve construction of the Keystone XL oil pipeline, wielding his veto power for only the third time in his presidency. Obama offered no indication of whether he'll eventually issue a permit for the pipeline, whose construction has become a flashpoint in the U.S. debate about environmental policy and climate change. Instead, Obama sought to reassert his authority to make the decision himself, rebuffing GOP lawmakers who will control both the House and the Senate for the remainder of the president's term.
The Senate is moving forward on legislation to fund the Homeland Security Department, but the House is in limbo 2 days away from a partial agency shutdown as conservatives angrily reject the Senate plan. Many House Republicans say they aren't ready to admit defeat and approve spending for the department without demanding concessions from President Barack Obama on immigration.
2 men were arrested at New York's Kennedy Airport on charges of plotting to help the Islamic State. The men were vocal both online and in personal conversations about their commitment and desire to join the extremists, with one of them speaking of shooting President Barack Obama to strike fear in the hearts of infidels, federal authorities said. The men were among 3 charged Wednesday with attempted conspiracy to provide material support to a terrorist organization.
A Texas jury has rejected the insanity defense of a former Marine in the deaths of famed American Sniper author Chris Kyle and another man. After a 2-week trial in which jurors heard testimony about defendant Eddie Ray Ralph's erratic behavior, including statements about anarchy, the apocalypse, and pig-human hybrids, they convicted Ralph Tuesday night in the deaths of Kyle and Chad Littlefield at a Texas shooting range 2 years ago. Ralph showed no reaction as the judge sentenced him to life in prison without parole, an automatic sentence since prosecutors didn't seek the death penalty in the capital murder case.
Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser says she'll defy congressional Republicans and implement D.C.'s new local law allowing its residents to smoke marijuana starting on Thursday. In implementing the new pot laws, Bowser is rebuffing 2 influential House Republicans who'd warned her that she'd be breaking federal law and risking retribution. Bowser and Washington police are implementing a measure approved by D.C. voters in November, allowing Washington residents to possess up to 2 ounces of pot.
A school bus aide has been charged with stealing lunch money and bagged lunches from preschoolers in New Jersey. Police in Millville say 33-year-old Rosa Rios was caught on surveillance camera rummaging through students' backpacks. She's accused of stealing money and food from 3 to 5-year-olds when she was supervising in January and February. Authorities first reviewed the footage because the bus driver complained that someone had stolen $400 from her. Rios is also under investigation for that theft. The Shepherd Bus Company says Rios no longer works for the firm. She has been employed there for about 7 years.
February's frigid temperatures will continue right to the very end. Here's Andrea Ross with the forecast.
February 2015 has truly been one for the record books. This month will end this weekend as the coldest since weather data has been recorded in 1902. Temperatures today will knock it out of the teens, some 20 degrees colder than normal. Much of the same is in store for our Friday. Temps in the teens with limited sunshine and a few flurries. There is some slight relief in sight. As we move into Saturday, temperatures will creep into the low 20s with some peaks of sun before we see a warm-up into the upper 20s. But with the rising temps come, you guessed it, snow. We'll see periods of moderate and possibly heavier snowstorms later Sunday as a new system comes through. A longer range view shows another potential significant storm coming in Tuesday into Wednesday, carrying with it some heavy, wet snow. An even longer range view of some weather data shows that the winter and the cold grip it's had on us isn't about to leave anytime soon. March temperatures appear on their way to being much colder than normal, according to one model's forecast data. We'll have to wait and see. Grin and bear it.
State championships are on the line this weekend, and Mexico athletes will be competing. Here's Shannon Corey with the sports.
Mexico junior Noah Galuzzo is headed to the Ithaca College as we speak this Thursday afternoon to compete in the New York State Diving Championships. Galuzzo, who will appear in his third state meet, finished 8th last year, but comes into this year's championship as the top seed. He's told us he's confident, but also is feeling some pressure that comes with such lofty expectations.
I guess I am a little more confident going into it. I'm not as nervous as I was before, because now I know I actually stand a chance against some of the other guys. I start working on the dives. I want to fix like my reverse 2.5 and my forward 2.5 pike. I just do extra work on those, and I try to clean them up a bit, and that's really what's helped me get the extra half point to get the higher score.
Mexico athletes will also see state championships in wrestling when 4 wrestlers head to Albany tomorrow. The contingent is led by returning state champion Trevor Allard, who is excited about a final return to Albany.
We've just been focusing on me. I mean, obviously, there's a target on my back. Everybody knows my name. They all want to beat me. And going in this weekend, everybody knows that I'm a returning state champion, and obviously they know that, but I try to put that aside, and this weekend is all about trying to win another one. So for me, I don't have to prove anything. I already won that title. Nobody can take that away from me. I mean, they can beat me, but they can't take that title away from me. So I'm just trying to win another one this weekend.
And senior Jake Wilson is also making a return trip to the States, this time through a wild card berth.
It definitely is nice to be in a room that a bunch of guys are working hard and all for the same goal, really. And as far as that, it's really Trevor pushes me every day because we're practice partners. We have been for a couple of years, so he really pushes me every day. And
Senior Austin Whitney is making his second trip to the state meet. Whitney said he's ready.
I've definitely been focusing on, the top of the podium. That's where my goal is, but I'm not overlooking anybody. The mindset's really just do all the work I've been doing all year and just keep going at it and keep fighting. 4 more matches left, hopefully, and why not give it everything I got every single time.
And junior Theo Powers is also a favorite to win the state championship. And finally, congratulations to a trio of indoor track stars. Mexico's Tori Towndrow, Kyler Felton, and Justin Gardner will each move on to the New York State indoor track meet at Cornell next week after qualifying Wednesday night. Tori and Gardner qualified in the high jump, while Felton in the 55-meter dash.
A busy weekend on the way. With the calendar, here's Patrick.
The calendar is highlighted by the big event of the year, the French Club semifinal this Friday night. Thursday afternoon is the last day to purchase a ticket. The deadline for completing Dollars for Scholars application is February 28th. Please make sure you have all recommendations submitted as well. If you have any questions, please see your counselor. All applications must be 100% complete in order to be considered for any DFS scholarships this year. The next meeting of the prom committee will take place on Wednesday, March 4th at 2:15 in Madame Harder's room. The junior versus senior boys volleyball game will be on March 4th at 6 o'clock in the high school gymnasium. The winner of the match will then go on to play a group of teachers in a second match that evening. If you still want to sign up, please see Miss Dady. Otherwise, let the practice begin. Tickets are now on sale for the Drama Club's musical production Aida on March 5th, 6th, and 7th. Pre-sale runs until March 4th. All pre-sale tickets are $5. Ticket prices at the door will be $10. Purchase your ticket early. Eye on the Tigers News will also be live streaming the performance from Friday night.
And finally today, here's Alyssa with a look at this day in history.
On this day in history, in 1850, Napoleon Bonaparte escaped from the island of Elba to begin his second conquest of France. In 1870, New York City's first pneumatic-powered subway line was opened to the public. In 1952, Prime Minister Winston Churchill announced that Britain had developed its own atomic bomb. In 1991, Iraq President Saddam Hussein announced at Baghdad radio that he had ordered his forces to withdraw from Kuwait. In 1993, a bomb built by Islamic extremists exploded in the parking garage of New York City's World Trade Center, killing 6 people and injuring more than 1,000. In 2012, Trayvon Martin, 17, was shot to death in Stanford, Florida, during an altercation with neighborhood watch volunteer George Zimmerman, who said he'd acted in self-defense.
Thanks again for being with us. For the staff of Eye on the Tigers News, I'm Kennedy Lamb.
And I'm Abby Garrett. Have a good day.